Are we live? Looks like it. Hello and welcome everyone to Forgotten Stream. Tonight I'm live casting a Trackmania match of sorts, which is a consolidation final of United Solo Championship 3. A solo championship in Trackmania United Forever. This is a competition played in rounds mode, and in consolidation final we're going to have 7 rounds per environment on maps in every single environment, so that is 7 maps. We're about to begin with map 1, which will be Desert, which is called I'm Gay for miiiυiit by BlackCat. And I would like to present you with the list of players we're going to have tonight. And probably explain what this is all about. So this is a consolidation final. We have 12 players who have taken positions from 4th to 6th in semifinals across 4 servers. And they will be fighting for the top 5 positions in this match. So the top 5 are going straight to the grand final to join the 12 people who have already qualified from semifinals. Why 5? Because one person who has already qualified for the finals directly from semis has decided not to take part because of personal circumstances. So instead of top 4, we're going to have top 5 going through. So from server 1 we will have Cørky, which was formerly known as Rems, a French player from some lower caliber, less known teams, who has been in Rev later on and who's won Yola 3 alongside Reven team recently. Also a fun fact, he is Zepset twin brother, something that I did not know. Also from server 1 we will have Spedzo, an Irish player. We would also have Danik, but he did pull out because he's going to take part in some local championship instead. From server 2 we are going to have Kuchen, a young German player who has only basically started playing Trackmania recently. I mean, he's been playing for a long time before that, but he's taken a break until 2020. Also miiıviiit JumperJack zepset. From server 3 Zippy Aru vet. From server 4 BlackCat.Norman and miiıviiit. And we are off with the first round on the desert map. We already have some players sliding out. It's a tricky map. BlackCat is leading the way, followed by Marius. Ooh, that was a big crash from somebody. That is going to put them out of the round. BlackCat still leading comfortably, followed by Cørky, Marius, zepset, JumperJack, Kuchen. miiıviiit is, well, he more or less was in no man's land. Now he's been overtaken by Norman. Let's take a closer look at the back in front. BlackCat still in the lead. Ooh, somebody making a mistake. I think that was miiıviiit. Yes, so it's BlackCat, JumperJack, Kuchen, zepset, the top 4. I would personally expect BlackCat to qualify. I would think maybe zepset, miiıviiit, Cørky. Lots of worthy players really, so it's hard to choose. But I think BlackCat should be a safe bet as a multiple Giant Cup finalist. Also Marius 89 if he trained more than he had for semifinals. Meanwhile, round number 2, BlackCat once away, leading the pack ahead of Cookie and Zippy, Cørky, zepset. Norman Cørky had a bad line there, lost some positions. BlackCat still comfortably leading. Why do I say, ooh, that's a tricky finish, people sliding. That is not going to be something that BlackCat is going to succumb to. BlackCat, Cookie and Norman, zepset. Yes, a lot of talented players here, but I personally think BlackCat has got it. He is a strong player, extremely strong player in all Trackmania regional environments, which are desert, snow and rally. He was also very damn good on Bay and Island. I don't know if that is actually the case now after a long break, but we shall see. Meanwhile, round number 3, Cooken leading the way from Norman, zepset, Marius, Zippy. Yes, quite a comfortable lead in this round for Cooken. That is actually a remarkable achievement for that young German player. He takes this round win, followed by BlackCat, who managed to make a bit of a comeback, Marius 89 and Aru. So yeah, Cooken, he says he'd only played Stadium and Coast previously. He didn't really like other environments or take interest in them. He had stopped playing at around about 2012 and only came back in like April this year. Ooh, JumperJack. That was a nasty moment for him. Round 4, BlackCat made a mistake. Lost some ground. That put Norman in the lead, but he had made a mistake himself. So it's now zepset from BlackCat from Marius. BlackCat looked like he was going to take over the round lead. Didn't quite work, and yet on this downhill section, ooh, he made a mistake. And that was a costly one. He ended up 10th. Zepset, Marius, Zippy, Cooken. And yes, JumperJack had lost 9 seconds in this round. That is a lot. Round 5. Norman had a good start. JumperJack wanted to have a say about it, but backed out a bit. Ooh, Norman crashed. That will be quite a setback. Marius with a slide. Also some time loss. I'm trying to find Cørky, who is currently in 5th position behind BlackCat, JumperJack, zepset, Aru. So BlackCat is far away in the lead and 2 CMC drivers are battling zepset. The second looks like Aru is going to prevail. I think JumperJack made a mistake. Yes, he did. BlackCat takes the round win, followed by Aru, zepset, Cørky. So 5 rounds done. BlackCat in the lead, followed by Cooken, followed by zepset. That is not quite what I was expecting to see. Round 6, once again, the Swedish driver, Swedish joystick driver, out in front, followed closely by Cooken, Norman and zepset. And there's his twin brother Cørky following them closely. Some people slid out and lost some time. Not something that leaders seem to be suffering from in this round. BlackCat once again very comfortable, takes another round win, followed by Norman, zepset, Zippy. Marius in 5th. Last round. That suffering a bit on the start, dropped back quite a bit. Ooh, somebody crashed. That will put them out of this round for sure. BlackCat leading away from Norman, who is going pretty fast indeed. Not something I was expecting from him on desert. Followed by Marius, zepset, Cookin and Corky. There's quite a gap between the leading two and those fighting for the final podium positions. Corky lost some ground there. And I think Norman is going to take this round, followed by BlackCat, Cookin, Marius, zepset, JumperJack, Zippy and Vet, who managed to come back and take a top 8 position. So the standings are, after map 1, BlackCat, zepset, Cookin, Norman, 4th position, unexpected, Marius, JumperJack, Aru, Zippy, Corky, Vet, miniiυіτ and spedzo. We have Marius 89 disconnecting, probably to set up his DX tweak to help out with the handling for Island. So, Island, a map that I believe should be called Transcendence by Axetar. Who would I favor on Island? Definitely Norman, one of the fastest Island drivers of all time. I think Spedzo could do well, because he's an OG driver from all the way back to Trackmania Sunrise times. Tough one to call, really. Cookin was really strong in semi-finals. He should do well on this map as well. Corky. Probably JumperJack. I don't know, haven't seen much from BlackCat on this map. So yeah, I reckon Norman, Spedzo, Cookin, JumperJack and Corky should be top 5 on this map. But we shall see. Anything can happen. This is a tricky map. And being fast... Oh, actually, speaking of BlackCat, he has a steady top 4 record in rounds. But that obviously doesn't mean a lot, because Norman, who is extremely fast, didn't do well at all in the semi-finals. I believe he managed to drive a 47 low as his best time, but his average was about 51 or 52 seconds. That was definitely crashy. And yes, you can crash quite a lot and quite hard. Let's see if he's going to do any better this time, considering that he is one of the best Island drivers out there. He should really take advantage of this being his favorite environment to do damage and take points. So second warm-up round has finished. We're about to go live. Players wishing good lucks and have funs. And the countdown has already started, and it's finished, and we're off into the second map. Let's see if people are going to go flat out on this platform drop. I think somebody slid, and that drift costs you a hell of a lot of time. Meanwhile, that's a side group at the top, which includes Cookin, BlackCat, Norman, mіиυіт, and I think that was spedzo. Yes, indeed. Cørky lost some ground on that platform turn. It's crucial to keep the gear high there. mіиυіт made a mistake. He was going well. BlackCat in the lead from Cookin. Spedzo slid and crashed. That will cost him a lot of time. So Cookin from BlackCat, from Norman, from Cørky. Well, pretty much the people I predicted. Apart from maybe BlackCat, whom I underestimated, but he's clearly has got his skills back on island. That is something that I do like seeing. And I'm excited to see what he has to show for us. Round 2, BlackCat in the lead from spedzo, Norman, mіиυіт, Marius and Aru. I'm still on Cørky, who is not that far away from the leaders, overtaking a couple of players who had released on that road section. BlackCat and Norman are fighting out in front, followed by spedzo and mіиυіт. BlackCat crashed. That was a costly one. So Norman from spedzo, from mіиυіт, from Cørky. And they finish just like that. mіиυіт doing pretty well. Well, I mean, he's a fast driver, but I was expecting him not to be consistent, to be perfectly honest. Surprising performance there. Round 3. I'm still on Cørky. Somebody slid on that drop. Somebody drifted on that bank turn. BlackCat still out in front from Norman, mіиυіт and Marius. Marius going strong on island, even though this is definitely not his forte. BlackCat still in the lead. Norman is fighting mіиυіт for second, followed by Marius and Cørky. I think I might have heard a crash there. mіiυіт, another mistake. That will drop him down the order. BlackCat takes another round from Norman, from Cørky, from Zippy. How are my CMC boys doing? 6th and 7th, separated by a single point. But not anymore, still a single point between them, but they drop to 8th and 9th. BlackCat, Norman, Cookin, zepset, Marius. I think I should be naming top 5 after every round, because we will have 5 players qualifying. Some people released, some people drifted. mіиυіт leading the way, but not anymore, because BlackCat has found a way past him. That's a tight pack at the front, with Norman and BlackCat and mіиυіт, followed by Cørky, who is in no man's land. He went a bit safe there, lost some ground. BlackCat drifted. That will drop him right down the order. Norman and mіиυіт first and second, followed by Cørky. Yes, so that is Norman, mіiυіт, Cørky, JumperJack and Aru. Strong times all round. 3:47s. Yes, a good performance from Norman, who has caught up to within 4 points of BlackCat. Round number 5. mіiυіт managed to save this one. Marius had a moment and crashed. Somebody else crashed. I didn't quite catch who that was. Cookin sliding away on this platform. Aru clearly releasing, not something that is necessary for that road section. Zippy getting past Cørky, but BlackCat and Norman are fighting for the lead. Norman seems to be prevailing. Ooh, Zippy crashed. Spedzo in third. I think Norman is, yes, in the lead, followed by BlackCat and Spedzo. And then we have Cørky and JumperJack. A 46.76. A strong round indeed. And mіиυіт finishes last, almost 11 seconds behind. He blames a mid-road bug. Penultimate round of this second map. Will Norman be able to overcome his teammate BlackCat? We shall see. So at the moment we have, ooh, somebody crashed there. Spedzo didn't quite do well on that platform. Norman is in the lead, followed by BlackCat, Cooken and Marius89. This is an exciting battle between the TnT drivers. Okay, with a bad crash there. Let's follow Zippy, who is in 5th position so far. He has a better line through this turn than JumperJack, and he will finish ahead. Norman with another 46, followed closely by BlackCat, then Spedzo, Zippy and JumperJack. Yes, dang Zippy indeed. You did have a run on you, mate. Last round. Norman had overtaken BlackCat. Will he manage to consolidate that? He will need it. Oh, Aru has crashed. So it is Norman leading away from BlackCat, Cooken, mіиυіт, Zippy and Cørky. Some people... Ooh, Zippy with a drift. That will not do him any favors at all. Still have the same 4 drivers in the lead, followed by, ooh, not Cørky anymore. JumperJack overtakes him. TnT drivers are battling it out, and BlackCat with a 94 takes this round away from Norman, from mіиυіт, from Cooken, from JumperJack. And that is island done. BlackCat managed to regain the lead by 1 point from Norman. Then we have Cooken, zepset, Marius, Cørky, JumperJack, Zippy, Aru, Spedzo, mіиυіт and Vet. Map number 3, Rally, Dirt by Lolita. A fast and tricky rally track. Who am I going to favor on this one? Obviously BlackCat. Why? Because he used to be a rally god back in the day. First he was one of those wheel pros, like many rally pro drivers back in the day, but then he switched from wheel to Thrustmaster T16000M joystick, and he remained a rally god. And now, after a few years break, he's back and he's just as good at rally as he had been in the past. So yeah, I'm expecting BlackCat to be dominant. Norman is probably going to drop back because rally is one of his weaker environments. Well, I think Vet is going to overhaul mіиυіт because he's a rally specialist. Spedzo should do better. But overall, out of the people we have on the server, I think BlackCat is going to dominate. And then it's a tricky one, really. I would say the CMC drivers should do better. JumperJack and Aru. They really shown in ULR 3, so I'm expecting them to show some good performance. Maybe Marius. He's a pad driver, but DX Tweak is doing wonders for gamepad users. Maybe that, I don't know, spedzo. Yeah, apart from BlackCat, it's really tough to call. But if we go by daddies alone, so BlackCat has got top 1 in rounds mode, and the next player is Vet in 13th, followed by JumperJack and Aru in 16th and 17th. The warm-up has finished, and the third map is about to begin. The question is, will Cookin overtake Norman with a 53-point deficit? Let's follow zepset. And away we go. Ooh, Cørky getting a bit out of shape on these dirt chicanes. BlackCat leading as expected, followed by Aru, Marius and Cookin. So many pad drivers out in front. DX Tweak really doing wonders. That is not enough to make them catch up with BlackCat. Let's follow JumperJack. Ooh, JumperJack clearly crashed. Like Cørky, like spedzo. Guys, can you please stop crashing? So BlackCat still comfortably leading the round, followed by Aru and zepset. Two gamepad drivers battling it out for second position. Aru with an interesting finish, jumping over that grass section. So it is BlackCat, Aru, zepset, Vet, Marius. Actually, speaking of controllers, I don't think anyone here is using a wheel. And we probably only have two joystick drivers, which are BlackCat and JumperJack. Vet made a mistake there. BlackCat leading away from JumperJack, from Cørky, Norman, zepset, Marius. Yes, the two joystick drivers are out in front, demonstrating their controller advantage. They are followed by Norman, Marius and zepset. Norman is attacking, trying to do all he can to overtake JumperJack, unsuccessful so far. Zepset losing a lot of positions in this last section. BlackCat finishes first, followed by Norman, JumperJack, Vet and Marius. Norman did manage to overcome JumperJack. Snack, what do you mean cam 1? This is the best spectator camera. If you want this, well, it seems to be working on rally. There are not a lot of options. Anyways, round number 3, BlackCat once again in the lead, followed by Aru, JumperJack, Norman, Cørky, and a bunch of players really. Ooh, I think JumperJack crashed and had to respawn. That is unexpected. So this puts Arubiano and JumperJack into the lead from Cørky, Vet and Marius. Spedzo is jumping over those chicanes. not really able to get Marius's position. Aru wins the round from that JumperJack, Cørky and Marius. JumperJack once again losing positions at the finish. Does seem to be alright. Cørky getting out of shape in that turn. BlackCat once again leading. Ooh, mīiυītь doing quite well. BlackCat from Aru, JumperJack, zepset and that, followed by mīiυītь, who is going to get out of shape himself and drop back to 11th. BC building quite a comfortable margin. The two CMC drivers are battling it out between themselves. Let's watch zepset, who is fighting that, and he is not able to overcome him. BlackCat, BlackCat, JumperJack, Aru, that and zepset. Well, mīiυītь, if you want a clean run, you should just go and get it. And I'm sorry, Snack, but I'm more comfortable with this camera. Round 5. The Swedish driver once again leading the pack. Want to watch Vettel, who is in a tight pack with JumperJack, Norman and Aru. Norman did lose out there. Ooh, good lines from Vettel, who manages to sneak his way past JumperJack, but not for long. He will come back. Let's watch Aru. They are obviously not going to get BlackCat unless BC is going to crash. So JJ second, Vet third, Aru fourth, and they will finish in exactly that order, followed by zepset. And Norman is doing pretty well, and actually Kuken is dropping back, because his gap to third position is still over 50 points. Round 6. Would you be surprised if I told you that BlackCat is leading? I guess you wouldn't, because that is a common and familiar sight, which is going to happen in another round as well. JumperJack making a few mistakes, dropping back behind Aru and zepset. Zepset getting into second ahead of Aru, but Aru definitely will have a say in this round. BlackCat is going up on his daddy one at the moment. Ooh, so many battles. I want to see Aru and zepset. Aru is going to take the second from zepset, JumperJack and that. Yes, Lolita, what is happening? BlackCat leading the way on rally. What has the world come to? Last round on this rally track, dirt by Lolita. An exciting track, I should tell you. Norman was leading. What is going on? And BlackCat made a mistake somewhere, because he's only 5th. Let's see if he's going to be able to make a comeback. At the moment it is Aru, JumperJack, Norman, and BC is coming back into 4th. Getting closer to Aru, basically has overtaken him at this point. Not Norman yet. Aru getting... Ooh, Aru crashed. That was not a good sight. Okay, Norman is behind, but JumperJack is going to take this round anyway. From BlackCat, zepset, Norman, Marius, Vettel, Zippy and Kukan. Map 3 finished. BlackCat still in the lead, followed by Norman, JumperJack, zepset, Marius, Aru, Kukan.Cørky, Vettel, Zippy, spedzo and mīiυītī. Yes, as I predicted, mīiυītī dropped back to last, and JJ climbed all the way up to 3rd position. I don't really know what to expect from Bay. I naturally presume that BlackCat is going to do well, because he is a pro in this environment. Norman should definitely do well, because he was one of the best performers on Bay in semifinals, and he has daddy top 2 in rounds. I'd say JumperJack should do well, because he's a Bay pro himself. Zepset, Marius, Aru, mīiυītī maybe, spedzo, Zippy. I don't know. Unfortunately, I haven't been following any training, so I can only go from my notion of player skill and their daddy times. The daddy times obviously do not tell you a whole lot. Because you can have a good daddy, but then you can botch it all up completely in an actual match. Yeah, JJ, BC and Norman do look quick in warm-up. Yeah, BlackCat is definitely going to qualify. The rest is up for grabs. But Norman is definitely going to consolidate his position on this map even further. Although, well, he's strong on snow. And what else do we have? This is map 4. Coast, he was alright. Stadium. Yes, Stadium should be Norman's weakness. Let's see if mīiυītī is going to scrape himself off the bottom. I mean, on pure pace he is definitely capable of doing that. Will he be consistent enough? We shall find out very soon. Warm-up complete. We're about to begin. Map 4. Ladder Noob by Zeus. And the lights are out, and away we go. Nobody really botched up the start. It's too close to call who's in the lead. Let's see if anyone's going to crash this bridge. Nobody crashing so far, so it is Norman from mīiυītī, from BlackCat, from Aru, who had been in 3rd just recently. Yeah, the TnT drivers are doing really well on these maps. Ooh, BlackCat with a crash. That does not look good. Norman still in the lead from mīiυītī, from Kukan, Zippy and zepset. Aru must have made some mistake early on. Kukan sliding out. Ooh, a touch there from zepset, dropping a couple of positions. So Norman takes the round from mīiυītī, Marius, zepset and Zippy. A double 52 there. Strong times indeed. And mīiυītī actually showing some good performance. Round 2. Nobody crashing so far, but Cørky definitely getting out of shape with those chicanes. Ooh, zepset touched that pillar in the middle. Norman must have made a mistake of his own himself. So it is cooking in the lead from BlackCat. Ooh, mīiυītī! That is what I was expecting to see, but not something that I wanted. Ooh, another crash in the tunnel. Didn't quite catch who that was. Cooking comfortably out in front from BlackCat, JumperJack, Marius, Aru and Norman. And he will take the round from Marius, JJ, BC and Aru. Meanwhile, arubiano climbing up into 6th. I'm obviously biased and I want to see him in top 5. Round 3. Interesting line there from Cookin. Ooh, Aru has crashed. That is not a good look. Ooh, another crash. Didn't catch who that was. Norman is ahead of the pack from mīiυītī, JumperJack and zepset. Norman getting out of shape, losing some pace. JumperJack with a big crash, he has to respawn. So mīiυītī is in the lead from zepset and BlackCat. BlackCat definitely wants to overtake zepset. Ooh, not able to do that. Dropping behind Zippy and probably Norman, yes indeed. Nobody really botches up the finish, so mīiυītī wins the round with a strong 52, followed by zepset, Zippy, BlackCat and Norman. CMCs did not do well. Aru almost 15 seconds slower than mīiυītī. Spedzo is not doing as well as I was hoping him to do. This does make me a bit sad. Round 4. Norman is in first from Cookin, BlackCat and a bunch of other drivers. Nobody in my side crashing. Ooh, that was a massive one. I think that was Cookin, maybe? Not sure. Ooh, spedzo crashing. Let's jump onto Zippy's camera. mīiυītī sliding out, losing ground. Zippy overtaking Aru. Yes, he is successful. He's going to overtake JumperJack as well. So it is Norman from zepset. Well, it's going to be close. And JumperJack sliding out and losing out to Zippy. Norman, zepset, Zippy, JumperJack, mīiυītī. mīiυītī still manages to finish 5th. Good round from him. BlackCat only 10th. Yeah, the gap is definitely narrowing between the leaders. BlackCat is fast, but he is crashing a bit too much. Somebody must have crashed by the sound of it. Norman in the lead from Aru, from BlackCat. BlackCat in the lead at the moment. From Norman, Aru, spedzo and Cørky. Nobody in my view crashing that section. I think somebody hit a wall in the tunnel. I think Aru crashed. That is Not something that I wanted to see. Norman takes the round from Zepset, BlackCat, Spedzo and Zippy. Yes, Aru in 11th, miiıviit 12th. If you're going to keep it up, Aru, you are not going to qualify. Please do better. 6th round. Everyone safely through that tunnel. Nobody crashing into the pillar. The TnT drivers are once again in the lead, and mиiıviiт wants to have a word about it. He gets into the lead. Reven.Cørky going a bit wide on that drop. Norman must have crashed, and I didn't quite spot that. Ooh, BlackCat with a massive crash. So mиiıviiт comfortable in the lead from Zepset, Zippy, Aru. Zepset going a bit safe there, but no, he manages to come back into second from Zippy, Aru and JumperJack. An exciting map, really. So many interesting rounds. One more round to go. BlackCat still in first, from Norman in second. Good start from everyone. No crashing sounds in the tunnel. Norman in first from Zippy, another TnT driver. So at the moment it is Norman from BlackCat, JumperJack, Zippy and Cookin. Zippy a bit wide there, but that will not cost him too much. Let's see how people negotiate this tunnel pretty safely. No disastrous crashes. Ooh, somebody lost out a bit. And it is Norman from BlackCat, JumperJack, Cookin, Zippy, Marius, Aru and Zepset. And mиiıviiт 11.5 seconds in arrears. Yes, so that's what I was talking about. Extremely fast, not always consistent, and yet he did manage to overtake Spedzo. So it is BlackCat from Norman, Zepset, JumperJack, Marius, Aru, Cookin, Zippy, Cørky, that mиiıviiт and Spedzo. And we have a 4-minute long break, and who knows, maybe 4 warm-up rounds for the next map. What are we going to talk about? I did not really prepare a script. So let's see. At the moment, BlackCat first, Norman second, Zepset third, JumperJack fourth, Marius fifth. Not really unexpected. So we have Alpine, Coast and Stadium to go. Based on that information, I would guess Aru might climb up a position on snow if he trained, because he's an extremely good snow driver. But then we will have Coast and Stadium, and Marius 89 is a bit of a specialist on these two environments, so he shouldn't be sweating too much. Can Aru overhaul Zepset? He's capable, but Coast and Stadium are definitely going to favor Zepset. Norman, well, that is 93 points, I believe. That is not going to be easy over 3 maps. But I'm not quite sure how this new point system works. So it's only guesswork. Also, we cannot discount Cookin because he is good and Coast and Stadium are his best environments. Don't quite get what he means by Wednesday evening will be free. Can anyone in the chat enlighten me? So apparently 3 drivers in last 3 positions are going to battle it out for the last position, which is fair enough. You can't always hope to achieve the top positions. I would probably be, well, I was fighting for last in semi-finals. And how many warm-up rounds? 2. Yes, mimri is a genius. He did manage to configure it to be just that. So let's have a look at the daddy times. Norman, BlackCat, mimri, JumperJack, Cookin, Zippy. Obviously mimri is going to crash, because he's mimri. Sorry mate, but that is the reputation you managed to build for yourself. Norman, I don't know. He could do well, and he could as well go full TA noob. I'd say BlackCat is going to win this one. With a strong performance from Norman and JumperJack. And Insanity guys are going to get into the mix. mimri asking me about my VPS provider. So that is some product placement there. I wish I was sponsored. Unfortunately I'm not. If anyone wants to sponsor me, I can tell you my PayPal details. I wish I could be sponsored by Thrustmaster. I'd happily recommend the good joysticks to every Trackmania player out there. The warm-up has finally finished. And we're about to go live. On map number 5, No Tricks by Oxide. And the lights are out, And away we go. Norman is in the lead, not anymore, because it's... oh, it's changing between BlackCat and Zippy, followed by Cørky. Ooh. Let's check out Aru. In 9th position actually. Such a tight pack at the front. Ooh, BlackCat going too wide on that pipe hairpin and hitting that beam. So Norman taking this round from Zippy, Cørky, zepset and Cookin. Apparently Norman wants to win this one. And I would say he's definitely capable of it. Lalita, if you are going to win USC with F710, you can say that. Although I'm afraid Hawk is a gamepad driver, he might win this USC. We shall see. Somebody crashed, I didn't quite catch who that was. Cookin in the lead from Norman mīiıviit, JumperJack. People not really crashing. Everyone safely through this pipe turn. Aru getting ahead of Zippy. And it's mīiıviit taking the round from JumperJack, Cookin, Cørky and Norman. Yeah, mīiıviit is fast. You can't take it from him. Round 3. And ooh, somebody crashed. No, it wasn't Cørky. It was BlackCat. mīiıviit in the lead from Cookin, Norman, Cørky, JumperJack, zepset, Aru. Cookin and mīiıviit fighting it out between themselves, followed by a couple of CMC drivers. This is tense. mīiıviit with a crash. JJ a bit wide. Aru, come on mate, yes you can do it. So it is a CMC round. JumperJack from Aru, from Cookin, Norman and Cørky. And mīiıviit in 10th, 2.65 behind. Round 4. Marius was leading from Norman, Zippy and a bunch of other drivers. Ooh, somebody crashed. Probably BlackCat. No, that was Cookin. So Norman is in first from JumperJack, Aru, mīiıviit and Marius. mīiıviit wanted to get ahead of Aru, didn't quite do that. Oh, come on, Norman is definitely going to take this round from JumperJack, Aru, Marius and mīiıviit. And he drives a 45.06, which is good enough for Daddy Top 7. A strong performance. You can't take it from him. Round 5. Somebody crashed. Ooh, Cookin crashed again. So it is BlackCat from JumperJack, Aru and zepset. Zepset didn't have the best transition. BlackCat, JumperJack, Aru, Zippy, followed by Vet and Norman. But BlackCat dropped into third, so the CMC drivers are in the lead. Ooh, JJ touches a wall, still manages to keep his position. So JumperJack from Aru, Norman, Zippy and Marius. Interesting. I believe Cørky has some gamepad problems. That is unfortunate. I'd like to see him fighting for a top 5. JJ definitely warmed up because he's in the lead in this round, followed by BlackCat, Norman, Marius and Cookin. But that is a close pack and Cookin losing a few positions there. Somebody crashed at the tunnel. JJ still in the lead from the 2 TnT drivers, make it 1, which is BlackCat, because Norman crashed. Ooh, Zippy with a bug. And Aru losing out right at the very finish. JumperJack, BlackCat, Cørky, Aru and zepset. Yes, that was a nice bug indeed. Last round. Somebody crashed and it is so tight at the top that I dare not call the leader. But it seems to be JumperJack at the moment. From BlackCat, Aru, miiıviit, Norman and Zippy. But so much can change in such a short period of time here. And I think BlackCat crashed into that beam at the pipe. Ooh, so close for second. And it is JJ with a steady top 9 taking the round from Aru, miiıviit, Norman and Marius. Impressive stuff. So after 5 maps, Norman finds himself unexpected to me in the lead from BlackCat, JumperJack, zepset, Aru, Marius, Cørky, Zippy, Cookin, miiıviit, Vet and spedzo. So, as I predicted, Aru did climb ahead of Marius, but now we have Coast and Stadium. And with only 6 points between Aru and Marius, I fear Marius is going to get ahead of Aru. And the gap between Norman and Aru only increased. It is now 103 points. Okay, sorry, was a bit busy. Second warm-up round on Coast. So, who would I expect to do well? looking at daddies, I'd say cooking. Zippy. Yeah, Zippy was a good course driver. Definitely Marius. I want to say Spedzo, but I don't see him anywhere near Daddy top 17. But I do see his brother Cørky in 13th, and I do remember a strong performance from him in a coast match in ULR2 between CMC and Rev. He can do a lot of damage. So yeah, cooking, Zippy, Marius, definitely the guys to watch out for. And the lights are out, and away we go. BlackCat sliding out right in the first turn. And we have Aru in the lead from Spedzo and Norman. Marius with a slide. Aru going wide, losing time. So at the moment it is cooking from Norman. Cørky and Zippy. Positions are changing with some slides there. JJ has been looking to get ahead of somebody, not successful. Cooking still in the lead from Cørky, from Zippy, and they finish just like that, followed by Spedzo and Norman. What can I say? Spedzo is going to overtake miiıviit, that's what I'm going to say. Round 2, I think I saw Cørky sliding out there. Spedzo in the lead from Marius and Vet. Not anymore, make it BlackCat and JJ. So tight. Marius getting into the lead ahead of BlackCat, Spedzo, JJ and Zippy. BlackCat made a mistake, lost a lot of time. Zippy getting ahead of JumperJack. Cooking getting ahead of JumperJack. And maybe even Spedzo. Oh, Cooking with a crash. Not good. So it is Marius from Zippy, from JJ, Spedzo and Vet. What's happening with Aru? Only 11th. Third round. Cooking in the lead. Marius sliding out. Zippy with a small slide. Nothing drastic. Cooking, Cørky, Aru. Zepset a bit wide. But JJ loses out a lot more than his opponents. Ooh, turns into a wall. BlackCat somewhere down the field. So Cooking from Cørky, from Zippy, from Aru, zepset. Aru not quite confident, still ahead of zepset. So it is Cooking, Cørky, Zippy, Vet and Aru. Interesting. So at the moment Aru is in 6th, 1 point behind Marius. But with Stadium to come, it's all irrelevant, because Aru is not going to beat Marius on Stadium, that's for sure. And Aru sliding out in this round, that is not going to do him any favors at all. Let's watch somebody who's a bit closer to the leaders. BlackCat in this case, so it is Marius from Cooking, Zippy and BlackCat. And Marius making small mistakes, losing ground to Cookin, but regaining the lead. JJ with a slide. A close round at the top. Somebody with a confident line, and Zippy will overtake Marius. So it is Cookin from Zippy, from Marius, Cørky and BlackCat. And something must have happened with Spedzo. He probably overtook JJ right before the finish. Round 5. Somebody crashed. That probably was Cookin. Yes, it was indeed. Ooh, so close. 11 players separated by less than a second. But ahead of them all, Marius 89. Now make it Spedzo from Aru and Cørky and BlackCat. Spedzo sliding out and crashing for good measure. Cørky getting out of shape. So it is Marius from Zippy and BlackCat. TnT drivers going strong. Marius, Zippy, BlackCat, meiiυիτ and Aru. JJ 12th. $666 points for Zippy. Good score, I like that. Aru with a slide in the very first turn. That basically is another nail in his coffin. Marius and BlackCat out in front with, I believe, Zippy, Cørky. Ooh, Zippy with a slide, but Spedzo with an even bigger slide. Marius still first from BlackCat, Cookin, JJ, meiiυiτ, Cørky and zepset. Such a close fight at the top. JJ losing out. BlackCat with a bad crash right into the last checkpoint. That is not good. So it is Marius from Cookin, meiiυiτ, Cørky and JumperJack. Zippy, yes, he did have a slide, so last round. Will Aru keep 6th? I hope so. Cørky with a slide. Spedzo ahead of Norman, Marius and Cookin. Here's some slides, so that is Marius and Norman dropping down the order. meiiυiτ sliding, JJ sliding. In the end, it is another crash from Norman. Cookin leading from Spedzo, BlackCat, Zippy and Marius. Extremely close between two TnT drivers for third. Who is going to prevail? BlackCat. So Cookin wins the round from Spedzo, BlackCat, Zippy, Marius, Vet, meiiυiτ and Aru. After 6 maps, Norman is leading from BlackCat, JumperJack, Marius, zepset, Aru, Cookin, Zippy, Cørky, meiiυiτ, Vet and Spedzo. Spedzo still lost. And now for Stadium. I would normally say that I expect JJ to do well. But recently he just hasn't been delivering on Stadium, although in the past he used to be quite a Stadium specialist. And on Wednesday, JJ's performance on Stadium was completely abysmal. So I'm not even sure he's going to end up third. Although, that said, Norman and BlackCat are both pretty bad on Stadium. So they're not going to be dominating at all. But Marius 89 and zepset are both good Stadium drivers. expect them to gain positions by scoring lots of points. So, based on Daddy's and my general knowledge of these players, I would say Kuken, Zippy, Cørky and Marius are going to do well. I hope JJ can do better than on Wednesday. Aru is 100% dropping. That is for certain, because there's only 6 points separating him and Kuken and 10 points between him and Zippy. I don't really know much about Zippy's stadium level, but he has a 46. He's generally a good driver. So yeah, I think Aru is dropping 2, maybe 3 positions, because Cørky is also a good stadium driver. The question is, can the top 5 drivers keep their positions? And we're only going to find out the answer to that in 7 rounds from now. Warm-up has finished, and we're about to go live on the last map for tonight, Mystified by meiiυիυτ. And the lights are out, and away we go, and Cørky made a bad start. Some people not with the best lines there. Kuken leading away from Aru, Norman, Zippy, JJ and meiiυիυτ. I'm pleasantly surprised to see Aru that far ahead. Let's see if he's going to keep it up. Somebody crashed, that would have been JJ. Not a good look. Norman, what are you doing? Driving ahead of Marius 89. This is Stadium. When did Norman learn to drive Stadium? So round 1, Kuken, Aru, Norman, Marius, meiiυիυτ. And JJ crashed and finished last. This is sad. Zippy is very good and consistent on stat, but doesn't like this map too much. Okay, thanks for the information. Round 2. Kuken crashes. That puts Spedzo in the lead from JJ, Aru, Zippy and Marius. Can they keep it up? JJ with another crash. That is just so painful to watch for me. Aru in first from Marius and Spedzo. They're battling it out for second. Come on Aru, you can do it. Yes, he can. Aru from Spedzo, Marius, Norman and Zippy. JJ in 6th. Come on JJ, you've got to do better than that. Indeed Raw, I think it's all about Trackmania. He has been practicing a lot. Must have helped him with Stadium in general. And yet, he should watch out for Rammsteins, because I heard there are no Rammsteins in Trackmania. 3rd round. Norman is in the lead from Cørky, JJ, Marius, Aru and Vet. Norman made a mistake, dropped a lot of time there. Aru and JJ looking to get Some points there. Ooh, Aru, bad slides. No, ooh, JJ would have crashed at the very finish. What is going on, mate? So it is Marius from Cørky, Vet, Aru, zepset. And JJ down to 9th after that crash. JJ already dropping back behind Marius. I think he should stop crashing because he clearly has pace. Ooh, so many crashes at the start. And Cooking crashed as well. So, in round number 4 we have Norman. What are you doing, Norman? This is Stadium, this is not Island. From Marius, Aru and JJ. It is so close between the CMC drivers and Marius. Let's switch to Marius for a second. Norman did drop back, but still keeping it up with the leaders for 4th, make it 3rd. Just what on earth is happening? And Aru botched up the finish completely and only finished 11th. So it is JJ from Marius, Norman, Zippy and mīiυītī. I mean, my god, what is Norman doing? This is Stadium. Oh, Norman, bad slide there, crashed. Not too seriously. So at the moment Aru is leading from Cooking and JJ and Marius. Cooking getting ahead of Aru. Marius catching up with JJ. Bad line there from JJ. Zepset getting ahead. Cooking still in the lead. Cørky getting into the fight. Anything interesting at the finish? Not really. Cooking, Aru, Marius, Zepset, Cørky. So close. 2 rounds to go. 5 points between Aru and Zepset. Round 6 on the last map. Cørky is out in front with Norman, Zippy, spedzo and Cooking. Zippy crashed, Vet crashed. The others still... Ooh, a couple of crashes, one of them was Norman. I think JJ... No, he's still... I'm actually spectating JJ, what am I on about? Marius from Aru, from Cørky, from JJ. Come on CMCs, you can do it guys! Marius from JJ, Cørky, Aru and spedzo. This is just so insanely tight. BlackCat meanwhile drops down to 4th. 7 points between Aru and Zepset. Can he make it? Come on Aru, you can do it mate! Last round, last map! Still a lot to play for. mīiυītī in the lead on his own map from Cørky, Cooking, JJ, spedzo. Aru is 0.4 behind. Some bad slides there from the leaders. Ooh, no, that is not something I want to see. Cooking getting ahead of JJ. Marius, not the best line there. Cooking still first. Then it's a close pack, but I think JJ is going to take 2nd position from spedzo, Zippy and Cørky, mīiυītī, Aru, Norman. And I believe, guys, that arubiano managed to qualify. This is incredible. So Norman takes 1st position from JJ, Marius, BlackCat, Aru, Zepset, Cooking, Zippy. Reven.Cørky, spedzo, miniiυիτ, and vet. Norman exceeded my expectations, did a lot better on some maps than I expected. JJ, finally, with a decent performance despite some crashes. Marius qualified. BlackCat just as I expected, although he did drop quite a bit on Stadium. And Aru managed to qualify in 5th position. You just cannot believe how happy I am. Eat that, Lolita, eat that! You don't know Aru? He's there, in the final of this USC 3. So, these are the 5 drivers we're going to see in the grand final. I guess that is it from me for tonight. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and I shall see you on Wednesday for the grand final. Good evening, everyone.